So I've been talking about this Ezra Klein piece. And good for him. There's nothing courageous about raising the Social Security retirement age. Now, he doesn't mention COLA in this. There's two ways that the establishment, well, there's really three ways, I guess, in which the establishment wants to destroy Social Security. One is simply to privatize it. One is to raise the retirement age. One is to change the way cost of living increases are calculated. As it stands now, the way that cost of living increases are calculated, COLAs, actually do not keep pace with inflation if you look at inflation for senior citizens. Why would inflation be higher for senior citizens? Because they buy less things, and they buy certain things. Prescription drugs, for instance, that tend to increase in cost at a faster rate than other products in society. So as it is now, Social Security is barely, if not keeping up with the cost of things for senior citizens. Those are the people who use Social Security, primarily. And Ezra Klein here, to his credit, takes on the idea of raising the retirement age. There has been a lot of data that has come out, most recently, just a couple weeks ago, that shows that actually white women without a college education, their lifespan has been decreasing. You hear a lot of people talk about, well, the lifespan of people has increased by 7, 8 years since FDR started Social Security. Well, that's true if people only describes those people who are in the top half of the income distribution. But for people in the bottom half of the income distribution, there has been virtually no increase in years lived past the age of 65 over the past 70. Maybe a year and a half over the past 70 years. And during that time, the retirement age has gone up probably about 2. It's going to be 67 for me. Now, of course, you can retire early. You get less benefits. But full benefits come at age 67 for someone my age, in their 40s. So Ezra Klein has a piece here where he says, what do we know about the people who retire at age 62? On average, they have a shorter life expectancy and lower earnings than people retiring at later ages. If anyone stood up and said, instead of doing uniform across-the-board cuts, let's make them a little worse for people who have shorter life expectancies and lower earnings, they'd be laughed at. Of course, those who say we should raise the Social Security retirement age don't get laughed at. It's considered a very thoughtful, courageous effort to deal with our entitlement programs. The people wandering around calling for a higher retirement age will never feel the bite of the policy. Think tankers and politicians and columnists don't retire at age 62 or even age 65. They love their work, which mostly requires sitting down in air-conditioned rooms. They stick around pretty much until they're about to die. The courage it takes to call for a higher retirement age is the courage to say that other people who don't have it as good as you should be the ones to shore up Social Security. It's the same kind of courage as a poor person calling for higher taxes on the rich, or a sitting congressman calling for a war he'll never have to fight in. I would say it's even worse than that last thing. Sitting congressman can't really escape the fact that he sent people to war. You'd have to be a little bit more pathological than he would be, just sort of, it's quite possible that a congressman or a columnist would have no concept that, hey, hey, it's hard on people if they can't retire at 62 or 65. I don't know anybody like that. And to the extent that I do, I've never had a conversation beyond like, yeah, pick me up at 4. I'll be back out in 45 minutes. Or I would like what's a good red for this that would go with this? I don't know. They just won't have those conversations with those people. And he makes the point, meanwhile, you could do more to erase Social Security shortfall by simply lifting the payroll tax cap. A lot more. According to the Congressional Budget Office, raising the federal retirement age to 70 would solve about half the Social Security funding problem, while lifting the payroll tax cap would solve all of it. So you can simply solve all of the problem by making people like Mitt Romney pay 6%, not just on his first $110,000, but on the $400,000, $600,000, $800,000 he makes via wages in a year. That's as opposed to the other $19 million he makes through capital gains, carried interest.